The ability to persuasively communicate your ideas is the single greatest skill that will help you accomplish your dreams in the next 10 years. Passion is contagious, but I think you really need to dig deep and identify what is it, though, that I'm passionate about. And then how do I transmit my passion to you? How do I transfer that passion? The easiest, most effective way is through mastering the art of storytelling. We have to start telling stories. Stories inform, stories illuminate, stories inspire. In business, very few people tell stories. And I can say that confidently because I work with some of the most well-known executives and brands, certainly in America, and a lot of global brands as well. They rarely tell stories, and yet when you expose them to this concept, they get it. They get it immediately. I just don't think they've really been exposed to it. Remarkable things happen to your brain on stories. Research out of Princeton University is finding that when I tell you a story, the same areas, the same regions of our brain light up. We are literally in sync. Sheryl Sandberg, the Facebook COO, recently learned this. How many of you are familiar with this movement that she started that encourages young women to achieve their goals in business? What is the name of that movement? Everyone knows the movement then. Okay, what's the name of it? Lean In. Lean In. I argue that none of you would have heard of Lean In if it hadn't been for the power of story. In 2010, Sheryl Sandberg gave a TED Talk, 18-minute talk, just a conversation about why we have too few female leaders. That conversation went viral. It led to a best-selling book, which led to the movement. However, right before she gave the TED Talk, true story, she was ready to give a conversation and a presentation, in her words, that were chock full of data and no personal stories. All data. Right before her TED Talk, and I would not recommend this because I recommend practicing for any mission-critical presentation, but right before her TED Talk, a friend pulled her aside and said, "Sheryl, you seem a little out of sorts. What's going on?" And she said, "Oh, it's just been a rough trip. Right before I came out here, my little daughter was pulling at me and screaming, saying, 'Mommy, Mommy, don't go.'" And the friend said, "Why don't you tell that story to everybody when you get out there?" And Sheryl said, "In front of people? You actually want me to tell that story in front of an audience?" She was very skeptical about it, and then she realized, she had a brainstorm, and she realized, wait a minute, this is how I can connect with my audience because I'm going through some of the same things that they are, and I can connect with them on an emotional level. So this is how